Welcome to HariBIO aus Berlin. Today, our story starts with a farm we're calling HariBIO. We're going to follow its very real journey to figure out what's really going on behind that organic label you see in the supermarket. So, meet HariBIO. Just like a lot of farms out there, it has a simple but pretty powerful dream to get that official organic certification. But here's the thing. This dream isn't just about farming a little differently. No, it's about diving headfirst into a world of really strict rules and intense checks. This is where the whole adventure really kicks off. So, if you're a farm like HariBIO, where do you even start? Well, the very first step is getting to know the law. And when it comes to organic farming in Europe, there's basically one giant master rulebook that controls everything. And here it is. Regulation EU 2018/848. You can kind of think of this as the constitution for everything organic in the entire European Union. It's not just about, how you farm. It lays out the rules for inspections, for imports, and, this is the big one for us, what it actually takes to earn that label on the package. For a farm like HariBIO, this thing is their North Star. But it's not just one single document. That mean regulation is backed up by a whole library of other rules, all the fine print. And these get into hyper-specific stuff. I mean, everything from detailed rules on how you treat your animals to what you're supposed to do in a crisis, like a major drought. It looks intimidating, right? Because, well, it is. But the sheer amount of detail here just goes to show you how serious and rigorous this whole system really is. Okay, I know that last slide looked like a lot. But despite all that complexity, the entire legal system really just boils down to 4 key areas for HariBIO. First, they have to master the rules for how they produce things. Second, they need to understand the procedures for how they're going to be inspected. Third, know the requirements for how they're allowed to label their products. And finally, follow all the rules for any imports. It's a clear path for sure, but definitely a challenging one. All right, so knowing the big EU rules is one thing. But HariBIO is in Germany, right? So that brings up the next big question. How do these huge European laws actually get put into practice on the ground at a national level? And this is where the Öko-Landbau-Gesetz, or OLG for short, comes into play. This is Germany's own national law, and it's designed specifically to make sure the EU's master plan is actually followed. It's the law that sets up the official system of control bodies, and this is really important. It also sets the penalties for anyone who breaks the rules. This law is what gives those EU regulations some real teeth. So here's what HariBIO's path actually looks like in the real world. They can't just, wake up one day and declare themselves organic. Nope. First, they have to team up with a state-approved private control body. Then, that group comes in and conducts these incredibly tough inspections right there on the farm. And only if they pass that inspection, only then do they earn their official certification. So, after navigating that whole maze of EU regulations, complying with German law, and passing those super tough inspections, HariBIO has finally done it. They've achieved their dream. But what does that reward actually look like? The reward for all this incredible work is finally getting the right to use the official seals. And these are not just logos. You have to see them as symbols of a promise to you, the consumer, that's backed by the full force of the law. Now HariBIO gets to use 2 key symbols. Over on the left, you've got the EU organic logo. You've probably seen it. It's the green leaf made out of little stars. This one is mandatory. It has to be on all pre-packaged organic food that's produced in the EU. Then, on the right is the German Bio siegel, that green hexagon. This one is actually voluntary, but it's super well-known and trusted inside Germany. HariBIO can use both of these to show everyone what they've achieved. So we followed HariBIO on this really long, complicated journey. But why is understanding all this so important for us? For people just trying to buy groceries? Because at the end of the day, it all comes down to trust. This entire complex system, the EU regulations, the national laws, the official inspections, it all exists for one single reason: to make sure that when you see that organic label, it actually means something real. It's not just some marketing term. It's a promise that is legally defined and strictly enforced. So the next time you see that little green leaf or that green hexagon, you'll know the incredible journey a farm like HariBIO had to go through just to earn it.
And that leaves us with one final thought. Does knowing about this complex system change how you view the organic label on your food? Let me know what you think in the comments. Thank you for tuning in to HariBIO aus Berlin. And with a sincere request, I ask you to like, subscribe, and share this with others. I promise that in the coming days, more episodes will be released, bringing you fascinating topics to look forward to.